This one responsible credit card habit often feels smart, but it could cost you thousands of dollars and keep you trapped in debt for decades to come. And based on our research, more than a quarter of Americans who have revolving credit card debt are making this big mistake. So I'm going to show you this exact mistake that so many Americans are making, what to do instead, and how you can take years off of your debt payoff timeline. Alright, so picture this. You just moved into your first apartment at 24, fresh out of college, and that usually means buying a lot of stuff. Between the bed, furniture, pots and pans, and all of those essentials, you end up with a $5,000 balance on your credit card. Not the end of the world, but not something that you can just ignore either. And let's be conservative here and say that your interest rate on that is 20%. And just for reference here, the Federal Reserve puts the average credit card interest rate at 21.52% as of their most recent data. So when your payment is due, you've got a few options. You can pay the balance in full, you can pay a custom amount, or you can make the minimum payment. Now let's say you do what about 25% of Americans with revolving credit card debt do, and you simply make the minimum payment. How bad can this really be? Minimum payment amounts can vary, but a common formula here for this is 1% of the balance plus the interest owed. Following this model, your minimum payment would be about $133. And that probably doesn't sound too bad. It seems manageable, and it might even seem like a responsible amount of money to be paying towards your balance. But here's a question almost no one asks. What happens if you only ever make the minimum payment? How long would it take to pay off your balance, and how much would it actually cost you overall? Well, buckle up, because I don't think you are remotely prepared for either answer. The first thing you need to understand here is how minimum payments can and often do work against you. Typically, these are in the range of 1 to 3% of your balance plus the interest owed. And here's the reality. With this payment model, your minimum payment actually shrinks over time. If your balance is $5,000, 1% of that is going to be $50 plus the interest owed. But if your balance shrinks to, say, $3,000, that 1% is now just $30 plus the interest. So the lower your balance gets, the less you pay, which sounds good. But making just the minimum payment means that it takes even longer to pay off the whole balance. That's exactly how minimum payments can feel like a financial trap. They might feel like progress, but they're quietly working against you. And the unfortunate truth here is that so many people are falling for this without even realizing how it works. At that rate, it would take you 277 months to pay off that $5,000 balance. And guys, that's over 23 years. On that original $5,000 balance, you would end up paying $7,723.49 in interest alone. You heard that right, more than the original credit card balance itself. Put another way, you would be paying about $1.54 in interest for every dollar you originally borrowed. And get this, if you started this at around age 24, you would be making your final payment at around age 47. The truth is, making minimum payments is like trying to drain a bathtub full of water while the faucet is still running. And this might be a hot take here, but minimum payments are not designed for you. They're designed for the credit card company. Minimum payments can create a revenue stream that spans multiple decades for these credit card companies. Plus, think about this. Our example here assumes that you racked up a $5,000 balance and then stopped adding anything else to the credit card. If you kept spending and only made the minimum payments, you could easily end up with a balance that never gets paid off. So if minimum payments aren't the answer here, what is? The first step you might want to consider is always making more than the minimum payment amount. Even an extra $50 a month can make a huge difference in the long run. The second step you can take here is setting a target timeline for paying off your credit card balance. There are credit card payoff calculators out there that can help you come up with a plan and a timeline for this. For example, if you wanted to knock out that $5,000 balance from before in about 36 months, you'd need to pay about $187 a month. And step number 3, try to avoid adding to your balance while paying it off. At the end of the day, credit cards aren't the problem, but how you actually use them can be. And if you assume that the repayment system was designed with your best interests in mind, you might want to think again. And if you know somebody who is falling for this trap right now, do them a favor and share this video with them. And if you made it to the end of the video here, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me and leave me a comment down below. Did you know that minimum payments could actually keep you in debt for multiple decades? Thanks for watching, and if you want to keep going, here's another video you might enjoy. I'll see you next time.